Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Darian, and today I had a quick word of encouragement. If you have been wondering why the people that were once able to walk with you in your life are no longer able to walk with you in the new seasons, let's talk about it. So, I have undergone many seasons of elevation in different areas of my life, and I noticed that there was a pattern of certain things that would happen each time it was time to go to the next level. And one of those things were that the same people that I had become familiar with, or the people that I got used to, were no longer able to go to the next level with me. So I'm actually going to be speaking from experience, and then I recently had a prophetic dream that I want to share with you guys to give some insight about this phenomenon, process, whatever you want to call it, that happens as you go up. I used to be a person that felt like if I was friends with somebody or in close cahoots with somebody, that relationship would be able to stand the test of time, and I would know the person till I was an old lady. Okay, that's just how I used to think when I was in a more naive state of mind. And so as I've grown and just lived more life, I started to realize that people truly are in your life for a reason, a season, and some people just don't make all of the seasons, and it is okay. I recently had somebody that God brought in my life literally for a season, just to get an assignment done for me in my life. As soon as the assignment was up, I noticed that the person was trying to form something outside of what their job was in that season, and it's like God allowed their hearts to just be exposed, and it never came together. It never happened. And so that's why you have to use discernment in the relationships around you and the people that are in your life, because there may be an assignment that they are meant to do in your life, and then that's it. They may be meant to be in your life long term, or they may not even be meant to be in your life, and that is okay. You can still be cordial with people and understand that they're not meant to be in your life long term. So let's get into when you have had people in your life and you start to elevate and you no longer are able to take those people with you. And this may happen by different means. It could just be that y'all grow apart. It could be that a betrayal happened to show you their true heart, their true nature towards you. It could even just be that there's this big blowout, maybe an argument or something like that. I've noticed whenever there's been like specific relationship that I've had these big blowouts, and there was nothing that was like direct or big that really happened. It's just like the blowout happens, and then like the whole relationship blows up. That is a clear sign that that is probably not a person that is either meant to be in your life, or when those things happen, it might be an indicator that they're just not able to go to the next level with you. And specifically with that situation that I'm talking about, I noticed that once I started to get to a next level, or it was time for the next level of elevation, that's when the fights would start, or that's when the blowout what happened. Naturally, as you elevate, you're going to realize that that will expose the people around you. That will expose how they see you and how they feel about you. And also, as you elevate, things just fall off. I always like to use the example of when you are climbing a mountain, climbing into a higher elevation physically. Literally, things that cannot survive in the higher elevations either are going to fall off, let go, and fall off, because it understands whatever it is, whether it's an animal, person, whatever, it understands that it cannot go up to this high altitude and still survive, or it's literally gonna fall. I'm just gonna say fall off. Okay, that we'll leave that as an example, because it's not gonna be able to sustain the next place. Okay, and naturally, as you elevate as a person, the people around you, if they're not elevating, if they're not constantly growing and moving, also resentment, jealousy, envy, comparison, those type of things start to fester and grow and become a part of the situation. And once that happens and you're on your process and journey of elevation, that can easily be something that sabotages where you are going, what you are doing. Okay, so let's hop into the dream that I had and we'll continue to go on. So in this dream, I'm going to use myself as the example. So I was in this dream and I was supposed to be heading on a field trip. So it didn't really feel like I was literally like in grade school, but it definitely had a field trip kind of feel. Like I was in some kind of school, some kind of course, and we were going on a field trip. Again, this is the adult version of me in the dream. And so there was somebody with me. We'll just call them like a classmate, or just like, it felt like an associate. It didn't feel like anyone super close, but it could still represent somebody really close in your life. It could still represent somebody that you just been around, whether it's friend, associate, you get what I'm saying. So it was somebody enough to where they were able to emotionally kind of like move me enough to make decisions in regard with the person in mind. And so there was a time limit where that bus was about to take off. Okay, the field trip was about to start. So the associate, friend, whatever you want to call it, the person that was with me that I was waiting on, they had to go all the way back to the hotel room to gather all their things. And at this point in the dream, I just knew that the bus was going. Like the bus was cranked up. People were on the bus. Like when you went on a field trip back in the day and you knew that the bus was about to leave, okay? The teacher just had to call roll or something like that, or they just had to communicate between the different buses before they, pulled off. It was like in that stage, okay? So in the dream, I was like, oh my goodness, okay, so let me just go back to the room with the person. We'll still make the bus. Everything will be fine. So I'm back in the room with the person, and the person is just so disorganized. The person is just all over the place. The person doesn't even like if you go like back to your room in a hotel or something like that and you just need to grab something, you just grab it and you go. No, the person was just like lollygagging around, and I was just like in the room like feeling like, okay, when are we gonna go? Like, we don't have time for all of this. And it wasn't even intentional. So I do want to point that out, that it wasn't even intentional. Like sometimes there are people that will intentionally try to set you back. And then there's sometimes where people not intentionally trying to set you back, but because they don't have things together in their life, because they are confused and, just kind of all over the place. They're not taking their things seriously. That can still affect your life. Just being an associate, just being a friend, just willy-nilly, just being around you. And so in the hotel room, I'm like, okay, this person is not ready. Like, what's going on? But I didn't in that moment say anything, but we eventually left the hotel room. So once we left the hotel room, I am in my car driving at this point because the bus had already left, okay? So the person calls me to miss the bus, miss the way of transportation to get to the next place. So when you think about your life, anyone that is connected to you does have the ability to affect how you progress and move. And I know it may sound like, oh, it's fine to have it all in control, but it could just be as simple as you have this one person that keeps inviting you out in one season, and that's the season that you need to build. That's the season that you need to be focused. This could be that you're in some type of school, literally in life, and this person always wants to go out every weekend, and they're calling you, and you're going like, oh, it's not going to be that bad if I go this one time, and then next thing you know, you go every other time, and then every weekend now you're tied up and you don't even have the content that you need for the exam coming up. Or let's say you have a business that you're trying to build, and we could even say another person has a business that they're trying to build, but they're not focused on their things. They again just are willy-nilly through life and just seeing how it goes, but you have a game plan. You know what you're doing and you are focused. that person can easily be a distraction and pull you off course just because they don't know what they're doing, because they don't have their things together, because they're not seeking what they need to do. Maybe a person is tied up in a bad situation with a relationship or something like that, and they want you to carry all of their drama. They want you to carry everything that's going on with them. They want to tie you down emotionally with the burdens that they are causing for their life. That can be another distraction, because now you're on the phone for 2 to 3 hours hearing about their problems, and they don't care about your problems, okay? They don't care about what you got going on, okay? So that again can be another distraction to set you back in this season of your life, or the season that you're in, that these distractions are trying to come through. Okay, so once I discovered in the dream that the bus had left, it's just like I'm in my car and I'm like quickly trying to like figure out where the bus went. I'm quickly like, it's like I'm at the tail end of where the bus was, and I was trying to hurry up and follow them because I didn't know exactly the location that the bus was going, but I just knew that I needed to keep the bus in my sight, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't know where the field trip was going. And so I believe it kind of got like fuzzy around this part of the dream. I believe either there was something like the person ended up turning down the wrong road, or like circled around a roundabout or something like that. And so I ended up having to go back to make sure that the person was still there, because that other person was also in their car. And if you're not familiar with spiritual things, a lot of times cars, buses, any planes, any form of transportation can represent you getting to your destiny, can represent you getting somewhere. A lot of times if I'm driving a car in my dream, I know that that's God trying to tell me something about my destiny. So you need to pay attention. If you ever had a dream with people in your car, if you ever had a dream of people trying to hijack your car, those are serious things to pinpoint. If you're ever driving in your car and you're just confused and all over the place, that is something serious to pay attention to. So back to the dream. So I am leading, like trying to follow the bus. The other person is in their car trying to follow me, following the bus. So I'm like, I cannot miss wherever this bus is going. I cannot miss it. And again, I said the person kind of like, we ventured off and was almost like trying to get lost a little bit. I don't think they were trying to, but it just kind of felt like what are you doing? Like, where are you going? Like, follow me, come on. So in the dream, I like, go check on, make sure they're still behind me. And that is when the bus just got away. That's when the bus was able to go on their own. And in the dream, all I could think of was this happened because that other person wasn't up on their stuff. They didn't have it together. And I was trying to make sure that they could have it together and that they would come with me and not miss the bus. Okay? So let's talk about it. It's one thing when you are handling your business and focus on your own life. It's another thing when you are focused on your life and somebody else's, when you have people around you that aren't accountable for their life, that maybe they do have big dreams or they want things to happen, but they're not focused. They're not putting in the work to make it happen. And because you are attached to them, now they are a liability to you getting to where you need to be. And this can look, it's not always so evident at first. Sometimes it just takes time for things to be revealed in our lives to see like, oh, okay, this was a distraction. This person was here to pull me off course. This person was here, like I was trying to do this at this season of my life, but because I was entertaining this, I didn't get to where I was supposed to go. Or I'm getting there, but I'm a little bit delayed because I allowed this in my life. Okay, so you don't want to be that person. You don't want that to be your story. Okay. And again, I just want to pinpoint this, that in that particular dream, the person seemed so innocent. It wasn't even like they were trying to purposely, intentionally just stop the other person from getting to where they're going, but just because they didn't have it together and the person was attached, that allowed for that person to miss that appointed destiny stop that they were meant to be on. So I know sometimes it may hurt. It may feel like, oh, I've known these people, or I've had these connections, or I just made this friend, or this seemed like this could have been a good friendship to come together, and it just sometimes life just allows things to just not happen. I'm going to say God, or things to break apart, or people to be exposed. It is for your good. It is because they more than likely are a hindrance to your destiny. So keep that in mind. This literally could be life or death for your situation, for your goals, for your dreams, for you making those millions, for you starting that business that's going to be a worldwide business, for you creating the new technology, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so that is all that I have for this video. This video may not be for everybody that watches it, and it is okay. Or maybe you can just watch it and get the wisdom for a later time in your life, because I would like to think that every single body is on a journey of elevation. Even if they aren't elevating at this very moment, who knows, 15 years from now they could decide that they just want better or different in their life and go on that elevation journey. Somebody may decide in 5 years, 6 months, a year. Okay, so I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it helped and gave you insight. If you have been wondering why they weren't able to go with you, why, what happened had to happen.